It was a shocking story when it made headlines in April. An alleged cult leader and former network TV star both arrested on sex trafficking charges. Now the inside story of the organization, including revelations of some prominent clients, is being told for the first time in The Sex Cult That Preached Empowerment, the cover story of this Sunday's New York Times Magazine. Author Vanessa Grigoriadis was granted exclusive access to the group NXIVM shortly before federal indictments were issued, and she is here to tell us all about it. Vanessa, good morning.
Good morning.
So you had this access. 14 years, nobody had gone inside. Give us some basic idea of what you learned about this organization and its leader as well.
Well, NXIVM is a group of mostly affluent women, some actresses living in a conventional suburb outside of Albany, just looking like you and me, going to the gym, driving their BMWs, but they believe that they're on a path to enlightenment. And for some of them, enlightenment involved having sex with the leader, Keith Raniere.
Tell us about the leader, Keith Raniere.
I thought he was kind of like a nerd. I mean, almost a professor.
Yeah.
He thinks of himself as a great philosopher and scientist, and to him, this was a human experiment that he was doing with all of these people to see if he could heal them of their traumas, in addition, their sexual traumas. That's the way he saw it, I believe.
It gained a lot of headlines because actress Allison Mack, who people knew from Smallville, was also caught up in this. What was her role in this group?
You know, she was a spiritual seeker from the time that she was on Smallville. So she truly also believed she was on a path to enlightenment. But the FBI thinks that she was bringing younger women into the group for the purpose of having sex with the leader.
How would you describe, as Dana mentioned, it was 14 years since they let a journalist in. How would you describe the atmosphere in this community?
It was certainly tense. I mean, they were very aware that there could be some indictments. They were extremely paranoid. They tape recorded all my conversations with them. You know, and they also felt extremely misunderstood. They wanted to tell me that all they were intending to do was help people in the world.
But this was also a pyramid scheme that was going on as well. This wasn't the reason it was founded, or was it by Raniere?
Well, you know, Raniere's motivations are somewhat unclear. You know, like a lot of leaders like this through time, of course, he was interested sexually in some of his followers, but he had previously in the 90s run a company that had, you know, state attorneys general thought was a pyramid scheme. So he had some, you know, past in that kind of business.
As you mentioned, this attracted some very affluent people from some very prominent families. What was the allure here, do you think?
I mean, I think that people just even want to be healed. They want help. And he was able to get into the cracks of their lives and where they felt insecure and make them feel that they were part of this new family. And, you know, it was a community. I mean, that's...
Where did this go? Where did things start to go wrong, do you think?
Well, you know, the FBI thinks that he had 15 to 20 girlfriends through all of this time. Most of the group actually thought that he was celibate. The people that weren't in the inner circle didn't know. In the last couple of years, you know, he really fostered these secret relationships and called a lot of the women slaves who were in these relationships, you know, potentially with him or being groomed to be in relationship with him. And those women thought that they were simply there for self-help.
Right. It's a fascinating article. Vanessa Grigoriadis, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks so much.